Hi, I'm Lisa Sanfilippo, and this is a very simple sequence to help you sleep better. I call it Super Sleep Yoga Simple Sequence. Okay? So this very specific sequence is designed to help you do a few really important things that are going to help you to sleep better, not only tonight, but hopefully for the rest of your life. And my suggestion is that you use this sequence each night before bed. And if you do it 3, 4, maybe even 5 times, what will happen is that after using the video, you'll be able to remember what you learned, and you'll be able to do this at any time, any place, with or without video, and your body will become more relaxed, your mind calmer, and more grounded feeling will pervade the entirety of your body-mind system. So essentially, we'll go through a few really important things. First, opening the breath, getting what's known as the vagus nerve from the back of the brain into the lungs and the heart and the internal organs to work better. And then we're going to ground through the legs, the hips, the hamstrings, and the thighs. And after that, we're going to go into a simple back bend, which will put a little bit of pressure on the thyroid and the parathyroid, and a twist that releases and opens the entirety of the spinal nerves and spinal muscles. So let's begin. What you're going to need is a yoga belt, really, really simple, and you can do most of this sequence right there on your bed or on the floor near your bed. So let's begin. What we'll do is come onto hands and knees. Get your belt nearby. I've got some pillows here, and I've got a yoga block, which is really nice to have, but not totally necessary. So we'll start on hands and knees, and as you inhale, you'll lift your chest and breathe into the front of your lungs. As you exhale, you're going to pull your belly back and in. As you inhale, lift your chest. Now keep your eyes and your face very relaxed, and as you exhale, round your spine. Keep doing that 3 more times. Inhale, broad, deep breath, and then exhale, round your spine. 2 more. Breathe in and breathe out. Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. And now this is optional, but it helps a lot of people to feel like they can breathe more easily. If you come into downward facing dog, you just lift your hips up. Do a little arch in your back and walk your feet back away from your hands enough so that your whole spine lengthens, and then just let your head drop. And breathe here and press from your heart, your sternum, all the way back through the thighs. It doesn't matter if you get your heels down. You can go a little side to side here, bending one knee and sending the other heel down. It's very, very simple. Smooth, deep, even breaths the whole time that you're doing this practice. Very deep, even breaths. And the yoga breath is called Ujjayi breath. There's an inhale and an exhale through the nose, like you're sipping the breath in, like a gentle sigh. Inhale and exhale. So I won't make the breath that loudly, but you'll remember to do that breath throughout the entirety of this practice. And now as you exhale, you come down to your knees. Right, and if you skip out the downward facing dog, you're just going to come right from cat and cow onto your belly. And I've got the pillow here in case you need it. You can just take the right hand to the top of the right foot. Now what we're doing is, having awakened the breath, we're going to stretch through the thigh muscles. And you'll push your knees together to track your legs in line with your hips. And from the waistline, push down through the top of the thigh, and the foot goes back into the hand. Now make sure you're not hurting your knee here. Keep it nice and even. Deep breath in and a long breath out. Nice relaxed face and shoulders. It might be a little bit strong on the arms, but just keep it relaxed. Let your heart and your chest sink down. Just push the foot back into the hand. And then as you exhale, change. And take the other side. Hand to the left foot now. Square your hips. Track your thighs. And breathe. And if you want to make this stronger, if you've been practicing yoga for a while, you're quite flexible, you can lift up onto the hand, elbow away from the floor. Just mind that you're protecting your back. You're going to pull your belly in and all the way back to protect your spine. Keep breathing in and out. And then as you exhale, release the foot. Now the quadriceps are one of the biggest muscles in the body, so that's a really important thing to do, get the circulation moving downward. Now you'll turn over onto your back and get your belt nearby. You can put a pillow under your head, as I'm doing here, or you can do it without the pillow. Just make it a very small pillow. And then as you extend your right leg up, you'll take the belt and just put it right on the ball of the foot. Let your elbows relax down to the floor. That part's really important, that you stay really relaxed in the chest and the neck. And then just here, very simple, even if you're super flexible, you don't want to pull the leg all the way to your face. And if you have a lot less flexibility in the leg, it might be out here, that's fine. So it's just very simple. You breathe in, as though you're breathing into your belly. That part's really important, and you let the thigh bone drop down. That action of the femur bone, the thigh bone, into the back of the pelvis is very calming for the nervous system. So you breathe, and just before you get to strain, you pull the leg in. Keep going. A couple more breaths here. Take it in just to the point before you feel a strain. And then on the out breath, take the belt into the right hand, and you're going to bring the foot out to the side. Now I've got this cupboard here. You might have the wall near your bed there, and you can press into the wall if you've got a wall right nearby. I'm keeping this left knee bent so that the low back is really steady and even on the floor. This will stretch the inner thigh, the adductor muscle, really important for releasing tension in the back and in the line that leads to the belly. Breath in and breath out. Breath in and breath out. And then as you inhale, lift the right leg back up again. Now we'll take the belt out for the moment. We'll put it to the side and cross this right ankle over the left knee. This sequence is very simple once you get it, and it's meant to be. I'm rolling here on my low back just to take some tension out of the sacroiliac area, the back of the pelvis. It's very calming once you get a nice rotation there. And the hands are going to go through, the right hand is going through the space in between the legs, left hand comes around to clasp. And as you do this, the more flexible your hip is, the more you can get this right ankle past the left knee. So if you're out here and the leg only comes to here, that's fine. Bring it in if you can. And the more movement you have in your hips, the closer you'll be able to get your left knee in. You'll resist away with the right ankle pressing into the left knee to activate the hip, and you'll notice that this foot is flexed. So flex it to protect the knee. Deep breaths in and out. So each pose, when you get into it, you imagine breathing into your low belly. Now I know you don't have lungs there, but it'll help you to massage the low digestive organs. If you breathe in and puff up the belly, breathe out and relax the low belly. Good, so that's enough on that side. Now exhale, release. And slowly bring your legs out in front of you, and you might just begin to feel, if you're breathing well with this, you might feel that the right leg feels a little heavier. Some people feel it a little bit more tingly. In any case, it's going to feel different if you've gotten a good stretch there. Many people notice that's how they want to feel when they're relaxed and ready for bed. Let's do the second side now. Belt comes up. Gather it around the ball of the foot. And just let the low back relax into the floor. I'm going to re-bend this knee now, just to keep the low back nice and relaxed, and where the leg and the torso meet at the pelvis nice and relaxed. So find just the right stretch for you, whether it's coming in a little bit more, if you've got really flexible hamstrings, or if you've got more athletic hamstrings, your foot might be out here. So you breathe in and out, and you bring it in to the extent that it feels just almost a bit uncomfortable, so you're getting a good stretch. You can even push into the ball of the foot, breathing in, breathe out. Now we're going to add something to the breath now. Once you breathe in really calmly as much as you can, and when you breathe out, let's take this leg to the left, keeping the right hip down. You don't want to turn your hips. Stay grounded here. When you exhale, imagine that your body drops into the floor. I call this the drop. The exhale, almost like a sigh of relief. The leg is out to the side here, breathing in, and drop. The body relaxes down. When you inhale, please come back up to center. We'll take the belt away and cross the left ankle over the right knee. So keep breathing in this way where you're inhaling but without any stress or tension. Keep rolling on the low back. And the exhale, a sense of relaxation. Human beings sigh naturally when we're relaxed. So you can actually signal from the body to the brain a sense of relaxation through this very gentle sigh. And if you're at home, you might not feel as self-conscious as some of my students do in class, but after a while, you do become accustomed to it, and most people really enjoy that sense of release. So pull the right knee in a little bit more for a deeper stretch and resist away with the hand perhaps on the outer left hip. You don't want to push your knee in a hip rotation. Just move at the hip. Inhale and exhale. Keeping the eyes and the face relaxed. That's great. So then you release again and just notice any change in the legs. Mine feel a little bit heavier. I notice that they can rotate out a little bit more, and my circulation has moved downward in the body. Very, very simple. So now we'll open up the stretch receptors in the lungs. The way that the body knows that we're relaxed and we're safe is when we're not tense or tight, when we're much more able to breathe freely. The body interprets that and sends that up to the brain as a message of relaxation. So I'm just going to take this pillow out now. Back of the skull rests on the floor, elbows press down into the floor, and very simply lift your hips. You're not straining here in the low back at all. And we're not going to take the hands underneath and push the chest up. Instead, what we're going to do is we'll take a block and just place it underneath the low back. So it's a really, really gentle lift. And I can stretch my chest by breathing into it a little bit more freely. Or if you feel really happy to come up, go ahead and do that. The back of the skull is on the floor. Back of the neck is curved, right? So you're not bearing weight on the neck in a flat position. And you can breathe into the middle rib cage here. Now, for a tutorial on the 3-part breathing, the low belly, the middle ribs, and the upper chest, you can see elsewhere in the series, and that makes all of the other poses more effective. And for now, we're just going to breathe into the middle part of the rib cage to expand here. And then just before you get to strain, you can release. If you're on the block, you come down, or just release the hips down, and a little tilt and a little tuck of the pelvis. And then let your body rest for a moment or two. And practice that smooth inhale as though into the backs of your shoulders. And exhale the drop. Another nice smooth breath in. And a deep releasing breath out. Yeah, very simply, I'm going to roll to the side. This on its own is a great pose to do to help you sleep. If you just pick one pose, you might find that you have a favorite. This is one of mine. So this block is going to go between my knees, or you can even grab a pillow and place that between the knees, and it just tracks the lower back evenly, right? So pillow or block. And that's also really good. If you have any low back pain, you don't want to have any twisting in the low back as you do this. So what I'll do is I'll put my elbows on the floor, the back of the skull is on the floor, and just kind of squidging along the floor or along the bed. And you let your arms drop out, and you turn your head to the side. So you get this long stretch through the belly and the rib cage, and even the backs of the shoulders begin to open. Deep breath in, and then that sense of dropping down. You might feel your eye sockets and the jaw and the tongue begin to relax. You can consciously bring your relaxation there. And when you deepen into the pose, you might even come a little bit further with your upper body towards your knees and let your head drop. Keep breathing in smoothly but deeply. And breathe out to the drop. And then as you inhale, come on back to the center. And just let your back reset for a moment. Smooth breath in. Deep releasing breath out. And if you have a lot of stress or tension in the nervous system, and it's hard for you to relax, then practicing that drop several times a day is going to be really helpful to you. So here on the side, low back is even and steady. I'm just going to roll over, opening the shoulders and moving to the side. Keeping the knees matched one on top of the other is a really good way to ensure a really full stretch in the middle back, which is really what you're going for. You lift up and you roll over and really breathe into that middle part of the rib cage, really activating those stretch receptors in the lungs. Couple more breaths here. In breath. Smooth, deep out breath to the drop. And then bringing your right foot to the floor, release the pillow, and the hips come back to center. Even out the back there. And then bring your knees into the chest, and you can roll side to side. Now, this is a great time to do a 3-part breathing right at the end of this practice. For any transition, I'm going to come up to sit here. Because if you're not ready to fall asleep after that last practice, a forward bend will feel really nice. And here's a very, very simple way of doing it. If you have more athletic or tighter hamstrings, you might need to bend the knees and bring the feet a little bit wider, and that's perfect, that's fine. Or if you have more flexible hamstrings, you can put the legs down to the floor. Somewhere in the middle is fine. You can always sit up on a little height, on a little cushion, should you want or need to. And this is not intended to be grabbing or pulling forward towards the legs or the feet, but you're just gently, again, deeply stretching through the backs of the hamstrings. Just really stretching through there. And really slowly releasing the spine. Really slowly releasing the spine. And as you do this, you can draw your feet closer to your face. Right? If it's a struggle for you to get anywhere in the forward bend, don't worry about it. Your body is stretching to the extent that you need it, especially if you're feeling quite a lot here. Let's breathe in and breathe out. I find that if I wake in the middle of the night, sometimes I'll just simply do a forward bend. And it's when I'm the least flexible throughout the day. So they're really effective. And they're also not very disruptive if there's someone else in the bed with you. You can just get up and bend forward. And give yourself a lot of time here, right? Just that practice of letting your breath drop. Really, really healthy. Relaxing for the body, stretching out through the backs of the calves and the thighs, spinal nerves and spinal muscles. And then for some, you might rest your forehead on your wrists. For some, you might be here. This may be enough for some people, or even just here and leaning forward. Right? So wherever you get to is fine. It's going to be enough for your body. Quite some time in that forward bend, really giving it patience. And then you can let the legs release a little bit out to the sides. And then as you inhale, walk the hands up the legs. And then most of the time, if you've given this a really, really good go, whether you're using the video or you're doing this on your own, just take enough time so that you really feel yourself start to drop down into the floor or into the bed. And then after this, you can go right on to the 3-part breathing, or you may even be just ready to go to sleep. So if you'd like a sequence that shows you how to do this, a written sequence, you can go to supersleepyoga.com, and all of the poses here will be on a piece of paper that you can print out. So use the video and then go offline with it. commit it to memory, and you have this whenever you need it for the rest of your life, so that you don't really need a prop to help you get to sleep. You can take some of your favorite poses and find out what's most effective for you, and then you're off to sleep, wherever and whenever. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you have a great night's sleep, not only tonight, but for the rest of your life. Namaste.